This is Lana, and we're going to do Lana's eyebrows. Lana had hers done about 8 years ago, and they faded quite a bit, so her hair color is a little darker, so we're going to go back in there and put hair strokes in. The first thing we need to do is to numb the skin. Most people are a little bit afraid that this is something that's going to be painful, but on a scale of 1 to 10, she'll be about a 0. Okay, 15 minutes is up, and I can tell her skin is blanching out a little bit, and that's a good sign that Lana is numb. We are going to get her just a little bit number by taking a liquid topical and just tapping that into the surface. And this one works within about a minute. She won't feel anything. The key is the client should be comfortable. These procedures should not be anything painful. You can see her old color right here where it's definitely faded. Usually these need to be done about every, 4 years, 5 years, depending on what color they start with. You're not stuck just with, light brown, medium brown, or a dark brown. You can mix an array of anything. I have quite a lot of colors. And there we go. That just sits for about a minute and she'll be ready to draw on. Okay, and now we're gonna draw. This is the fun part. All right, and I'm just gonna get my glasses on and give her some hair strokes. We usually follow the direction of the hair. In Lana's case, her hair grows pretty straight here and then it starts to angle and it goes sideways, so we want to draw it the same way that her hair grows. Some need more, some need less, depending on how much hair they have naturally. The idea is to keep it as natural as possible. You don't want it solid, that looks artificial. And then when we do the eyebrows, we do them together. I'm going to have Lana look at these. Lana, I'm going to show this to you and see if this is the shape you like and if the balance looks even to you. Mm-hmm. Arch looks good, tails look good. So once we got them drawn on, this is like our template. We don't vary from this. So there's no guessing. That's not an eyebrow that we didn't think we were going to get. We're definitely going to follow this to a T and then fine tune it together. So we can start with the color. With Lana's, I mixed up a little bit of an ashier brown. Even though her hair is highlighted, her actual brow hair is quite dark, and if I try to do too light of an eyebrow, where she has hair, it's just going to stand out. It's not going to look right, so we need to put in color to match her hair. We'll do these very loosely, and that'll allow me to make corrections as I go. So we're going to put little ones in between these. This is just to get the basic shape in. Now her hair here is a little bit straighter up, so we're going to start following that hair growth by making these straighter. Okay, you can see the hair stroke in there. Now we're going to put little ones in between because that by itself is way too sparse. Okay, I double check for balance. They look pretty good. That one's just a hair thinner, so I'm just going to do a hair thinner here. And that'll allow for me to come back and do some balance. I can add a few more underneath or on the top. So that part looks good. Let's go on the left side. Do the same thing. I think one of the major concerns people have about the permanent makeup is they're afraid it's going to be too much or too heavy for everyday wear. It's not meant to be a total makeup replacement. It is meant to give you a base face, something that will enhance your looks naturally, and when you want to go out for the evening or you want something a little bit more dramatic, you add to it. The balance looks really pretty good. Lana, can you open your eyes just so I can see? This one may need to be just a little bit lower here, but we'll save that when we fine-tune everything at the end. All right, let's go for the second pass. This is where I'll angle the hair just a slight bit different than the angle of these, because no hair lays perfectly like soldiers in a row. Let's see how those are turning out. If you could see closely, you can see they're just a little bit different than the previous row, which is what we want. You don't want it looking exactly the same. That doesn't look as natural. The color that I'm doing right now will lighten about 50% within 5 days. It's very livable while it's healing, but what happens is the whole top layer will fall out. The top layer will not stay in, just what I get under the skin. And right now it's in liquid form. To get it in the skin, it'll go back to powder. So it will be powdered pigment under the skin. So literally in 5 days, half the color falls out. It's a much softer look. That looks pretty good. Just wash her up good and have a good look at it. Okay, Lana, this is your color in 5 days. When the top layer peels off and it goes back to powdered form, this will be your tone. So about 50% lighter than what you're seeing here. And the color will be under the skin, so all your little hair strokes will be a little bit more muted too. They won't be quite so stark. So the whole effect looks much more natural in 5 days. Perfection. Okay.